finally here. We can finally get the turbo on the engine. I think this is what you guys want to see anyway. This is gonna be sweet. This is like the stuff that's actually fun. So, I have it on here because I couldn't help myself, but I'm gonna go show you guys how to do EGTs.
Dun 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 dun.
And a little backstory on how we put these in the wrong spot the first time.
It's Mike walking down the aisle with his turbo manifold. It's true love. True love.
You can get a nice ring for what I spent on motors.
Just making every girl jealous right now.
So here's the CES manifold. It is a twin scroll manifold, meaning it has a divided like turbine housing thing. Insert Chris saying the engineering word.
It's just it's divided.
Divided turbine housing. So what this does is separate the pulses to create a more efficient turbo spool. On these side, these are the EGT sensors. These measure the temperature of the exhaust gas. You're trying to get that as close to the valve as possible, because basically you're making sure you're not melting a valve. Backstory is I had these put in a long time ago, these little ones, but then I realized that this is too close to the head on either end because there's like some casting marks on the M52 head. So I couldn't actually keep these in. So then I ordered replacements. I didn't look closely. I welded them on, then got the thing coated, and then realized it was for a different size. So unfortunately, we're gonna have two different size thermocouples, but it doesn't really matter. The bigger ones are just a little slower to react. 3/16 to a 1/4 inch. Things could be worse. I'm not really too worried about it, but I'm gonna throw the new ones in, cap the ones we can't use, and then we're gonna go over to the block, slap the manifold on, get the turbo fitted, weld on the turbo, new little nozzle thing.
That was great description of hand motion right there.
And we're gonna get this thing in there. Oh, by the way, one more thing.
Look at how excited he is. Jesus Christ, you are spitting a mile a minute right now.
And then
like, breathe there, kid, breathe.
And then on top of that, this is also for manifold pressure. So this is pretty cool. So let's get one of these EGTs out. I'll show you guys what is in the bag. Let me get these things.
This is that good. This is where your boy really, the plug came through.
Thank you, Summit Racing. Ooh, so this one has a little tip that's open. So basically you're gonna slide these in, and there's a little compression fitting at the end here. So you're gonna slide it into the right depth, crush the compression fitting so that they can't move, and then you're done. So
two ways to do this. We have the manifold off, so we could just flip the manifold over and look. If we had the manifold on the car, I mean, what we did at Chrysler basically on the dyno, you just bottom this thing out and then back it off halfway, right? Yeah. So just put it all the way in, measure, take it all the way out, measure, mark the halfway point, put it in there. You want it in the middle of flow. Yeah, as best as possible, right? Like, is it like worst case scenario if you're off a tiny amount?
Will they last longer in the middle of flow? No, they won't last as long. But it doesn't really matter because all you actually care about is the actual temperature the valve's seeing. So people will sometimes put them on the edge of the manifold, like just barely in, on turbo and nitrous applications. But at the end of the day, you're not very accurate on the gas temperature then. So like, what are you actually measuring? Yeah. This is made of like nickel and stuff. Like it's not just gonna melt. And if you're melting this, you're doing something really wrong.
Yeah, your valves were long gone at that point. Also, like these things, when we say not last, it's like, it's not gonna last 100,000 miles.
No.
Which nothing in this world lasts 100,000 miles.
I feel like shocks.
Nothing in the racing world.
Nothing even, I feel like even on normal cars, I feel like shocks are gone at 30K no matter what you got.
Well, that's Michigan roads. If we lived in Florida, we wouldn't have that issue.
Well, you know, in Florida, interesting enough, I was going to a shop in Florida, and they'd say the shocks would wear out in like in this much area of the shock.
Oh, because it didn't travel enough?
It would just be like this all the time.
It's just a million micro movements?
Yeah. So I guess let me get this one out, and we'll get these in, and we'll meet back and show you what we did to the head to make an awesome mating surface for the really thick CES manifold. So guys, we got the EGTs in. You can kind of see them in the middle of the exhaust stream there. One's around the corner over there. You just want these in the middle of the flame. Obviously, don't last as long in the middle of the flame, but it doesn't matter because we want the actual data, not less warranty claims for products. You know what I mean? It's kind of, these things are consumables, so it is what it is. So yeah, we got the EGTs in, and now let's go take a look at the block we're gonna put it on. I'll bring the manifold over. Tech.
So techy.
Play.
Hot take.
So here's a E36 M52, right? We're using the M52 original exhaust manifold gaskets, If you have an M54, they have weird heat shields. Just get the E36 gaskets, they're better. Another thing we do is use B58 exhaust studs. The CES manifold is like really thick, so you're not able to get like a lot of threads on using like the M54 ones. And I do like having the updated exhaust studs because it has little torques on the end, so you can like put them in and out without double nutting everything and taking 9 hours. So we got the B58 studs in there, which are perfect. That's a new thing we just figured out. Had no idea about that. We just kind of gave it a wing. It worked. Let's get this on there. Boom. As you can see, you have some nice thread engagement left for the nuts. So I'll just like lift this up a little bit, get all the nuts threaded, get this thing tightened down. Then we can route the wires, add the turb ski. We're gonna modify the turbo and replace this rubber thing that was really annoying because if it ever came off at the track,
silicone.
It was super hard to get on. So we're just gonna make this all aluminum.
All right, let's get to nutting.
Oh, not so hard.
You heard it here, guys.
OEM.
OEM plus.
Yeah, we should take this thing to the dealer for like a nut warranty.
I have to take my car for the blower motor recall. I can't wait.
There seems like no.
They have to do it. It's a recall.
Really?
Yeah.
Has a VIN, so there's like I gotta do it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
You have to put it in like valet mode or just like something stupid.
Just lock it in first gear.
Basically.
We'll have 8 speed, so that'll be fine.
All right, yeah, this is a not exciting process, but basically we're just nutting.
So these are nice bronze like crimp nuts, so they withstand the temperature and like and they don't like get loose too easy. Obviously because we have this coating, it's gonna be kind of hard to get some of these nuts in, so let's lift the manifold up a little bit to get clearance, finger them on, and then tighten it all down at one time.
You guys don't need to watch us nut 24.
24 times?
Yeah, no.
Yeah. I think once is already too many.
Yeah, once is definitely... I've seen 3 now, so all right, we're gonna cut it there. All right, now that we're physically out of breath from tightening all of these nuts down.
Like 4 times each because it just keeps getting...
Yeah, basically I stood on this side, Mike stood on that side, and we both just walked circles around it and just kept retightening because it's just like, just sinks and sinks and sinks, and you're like wrenching on it and you're like, this has got to be the final one, and then you do 3 more and you go back to that one and it's finger tight. You just spin it. So, yep, just keep torquing them down.
Yeah,
that was good English right there. I'm killing it. Yeah, just do like 4 circles around. Just one by one by one by one by one, and then just, yeah, give her the old torqueroos. And
Torque spec?
Torque spec is definitely a solid UGA.
It's kind of like what you can grab well, because there's like no room.
Yeah, just take your time, honestly. Make sure the wrench is all the way on. Torque down all of the head studs first, so that if you ever do remove this, just the nuts come off and not the whole stud as well.
These studs what he's talking about, not the head stud, the exhaust stud for the head.
Did I say, yeah, exhaust stud in the head.
Yeah, because you don't want the nut to back out with the stud on it.
Yeah, basically defeats the whole purpose, because then you're just stuck in some crappy locations. And just, yeah, get the wrench all the way on there, go slow, because if you round any of these, again, it's going to suck.
You have to Dremel them off. It is the worst thing ever. We've been there, done that, just don't do it.
Yeah, that was when we would just smash our fists. Well, this was in the engine bay 4 years ago.
It just nice bleeding everywhere.
Yeah, and blood does not equal Loctite. They're both red, but one does not equal the other. So, all right, I think we're gonna weld on the turbo first before we put it on.
Yeah, so I guess next thing you're gonna see is
could be a surprise for all of us. I don't know what you're gonna see next. Yeah, just you're gonna know because you're gonna see this in 0.5 seconds. I am going. I don't know. We gotta figure out what to do next.
So let's just keep sweating. All right, so we have some fab materials from good old CX Racing. This was the old setup, which we used to reduce to like. There's not a lot of room down here for a full 4-inch intake, so. We're going to remove this unreliability right here, and we're going to build a replacement that does the same thing by welding this on and then putting this out to the front bumper. I'm just kidding. We're gonna cut this short and add it right there. So I'm gonna go with the bandsaw, cut this guy, take the compressor housing off, give it to Sean so we can complain, and then weld it. And then, by the way, it's Cinco de Mayo, so tequila and Corona are maybe in videos.
Yes.
Don't drink and drive. Anyway, we're gonna do some heavy duty equipment wielding with tequila, dangerous as well.
Well, you're doing the equipment, Sean's doing the drinking.
Oh, I had a glass over
I
there.
get to electrocute myself later with the tape.
I like just gave you a perfect out in court and you just threw yourself under the bus.
Yeah. What the hell?
No, you dumbass.
I don't know.
All right, go over to the vet side. You just do you. You're killing it.
You're so good, Mike.
Yeah, they don't need to see you lose a finger. This is like not what you should be doing at home.
No.
What you should be doing at home is building cages.
And drinking large quantities of alcohol.
Well, yes, because the alcohol helps you maneuver into all the tight spots for welding goodness.
It's
But-
considered performance
Yo,
enhancing and
guys,
competitive.
this giant chunk of steel earlier fell on my foot and it hurt so bad.
Maybe you shouldn't have dropped it on your foot.
Well, I wasn't. I was moving and the thing fell off of my foot. It was bullshit.
It jumped and attacked you, Mike. We saw it.
It's fucking bullshit. So first thing we did is, because we don't want to lose the clocking of the turbo, because this is obviously how it fits right, so I just mark the compressor housing with a Sharpie so that we don't accidentally lose where it's clocked, so I can put it together perfectly the same spot. So now let's tear this turbo off, bring it over to the table, and pull the As expected, it's all still one piece, that billet wheel. Doing
Billety
thingy.
things.
Ooh, it makes a nice noise.
Any second now will cut himself.
We should use that noise for like a song. You can like make a Christmas carol with this thing.
Dude, why don't you make it your text notification?
You record it on your like Nokia brick.
So this looks like a normal thing. Got a little serial number pounded in there. This is obviously what we welded this all on at Andy's shop previously when they did all the tubing. So I'll get this cleaned up for good old Sean with some acetone or brake clean, whatever. And
Definitely the acetone.
World's dirtiest rag.
all right, like I said, I'll get this thing cleaned up.
And we'll come back.
Who's got to be calling me now? Okay, can't deal with this.
Don't worry, it's not a customer, it's just his mom.
So, sorry, Mom. So, oh my God, stop! Literally, stop. I'm putting my phone somewhere else. Can't do it. So, Sean welded on this sweet thing. It looks ridiculous. Looks like something out of like the turbo era of like reducers that contained, I don't know.
We're so early in the morning.
All right.
It looks sick. It just, it looks, I mean.
It looks unreal. It looks like
yeah.
it's off a space station, sort of.
Yeah.
It's obviously like, when you think, it looks like it's already reducing the amount of tube going to it, but when you look in here, most of it's just like the surge holes, not necessarily anything to do with like the induction of air, because like those holes like let air out, I'm pretty sure. It's a little rib. But in other news, we got this pretty cool hardware from Full Race. It's like these, I think it's called Nordlock washers. So they just, once the nut's against them, it makes it harder for them to back off. These are also like stove nuts, so that's sweet. We had Allen bolts in here before, but one of them's kind of hard to get to, and it's just kind of short. So we're gonna go on to studs now. It's probably the proper way to do it anyway. We just didn't have them before we put the car together. Throw the gasket on here. All right.
Space station engaged.
We have docked. Gonna have to like keep these all loose while I get them all on.
I'll just get in the way.
Yeah, please.
Such a fun process. Catch us when we're done doing this.
Oh, I got it. I got it.
Oh,
I got it. Oh, it's exhausting. What's happening? Is this Transformers more than meets the eye? I don't know if I have to get this on too first. Ugh.
that goes on first?
I don't know, I don't think so.
I
Maybe I
definitely don't think so.
have to get it bolted up, that'd be a little easier to put on.
I think so. We still got a gap over here.
Yeah, I don't know if
All right, I'm gonna put this down and help. I'm being super helpful right now, but
catch it up a little bit.
voila, my genius knows no bounds.
Insert Jeremy Clarkson. Meme.
All right, now we're just tightening all those up. Dude, get this trash silicone out of here. Trash. Trash.
Never to be used again. Oh my god, my phone.
Mike's mom's calling him again.
All right, so the turbo's on. Now we have to clock this thing. So, because we took the top off to weld, we dislocated where it was, which matches like the intercooler piping for all the van gen clamps for the intake. Because there's like no silicone on this intake, so I'll just align the marking I left. Go ahead and start snugging these up. You can see down here, this is our oil drain. It's like a push lock setup, but basically on the E36, you have to get the oil drain as high as you can. The CES manifold's pretty compact, so the turbo sits pretty high. On some other manifolds, you have to run like a scavenge pump to pull the oil into like a little tank and then send it back to the pan, so that it doesn't back up into the bearings and then smoke. It's just nice on a car that you don't have to worry about that, so it's nice to have the gravity drain just work well. This is definitely pushing it, like it's one of the weak points of the M50 because it's leaned over on one side, but once it's fine, it doesn't really, once you have it set up well, you don't have to worry about it. All right, sweet. Compressor housing's on. So this is our turbo feed. We have this in a bunch of different configurations. It's a quality -4 female ends, and I think I'm gonna put these on the website. These little guys we use, these little clamps, to attach the hose, kind of to run it up here by the Vanos, because they seem to be nice. I don't know why I've used them and not offered them, so it's just a vibrant part. So
Wow, Mike, really just shorting the customer here. Using all the cool secrets, not telling them.
well, how they know. I wish I had a black fitting on this, but beggars can't be choosers when parts are.
Blue.
Well, just, yeah. Why are we going on?
Line it up straight, Mike. Jesus Christ.
Oh my gosh. Oh, there we go.
Too much Cinco de Mayo last night.
AM threads, you gotta be so straight on, or at least I have no hope.
Yeah. God damn them being good.
Yeah. Doing your job too well. This is what are we doing here?
Dude, stand the motor up. Should probably pull that pin out of the top.
No, I will, but I want to get a
Oh.
little.
Looks like a real motor again.
Yeah. So this hose, we usually run a fitting that goes through the Vanos, the lower Vanos banjo, but because this has the thermostat delete, the oil filter housing delete on it, I just run into a fitting right here, but the hose works the same for whatever setup you have. And then I'm just gonna run a couple of these bolts out. Just put these little guys in here. Be looking fresh. All right, perfect.
Icy.
All right, cut back to that being done. All right, we have our PPF manifold.
Icy.
I'll get it angled like BMW angle.
Oh yeah, big angle. It's crazy this is how it actually sits in the car.
Pretty much. So this is probably a little extreme, but...
Maybe a tiny bit, but usually the throttle body's pretty close. Pretty high. Hello, little guy down there.
All right, so I think the motor's pretty much done. Other than attaching it to the dual clutch transmission. And then we have to take the valve cover off one more time and then put the catch can kit on it. So we'll show you guys how to install our catch can kit. That'd be pretty sweet. Yeah, I mean,
It's a motor.
that's a motor.
It's a pretty badass motor.